Hello, my lovely gems. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Gems, you only got a few cards at the onset. We have Anima Mundi, the Mask, and the River. I mean, Anima Mundi is in all things, be all things, right? Like the interconnectivity of everything. And when you wear a mask, you disconnect yourself from the interconnectivity of all things. It creates blockages, it creates stopping, like a stoppage. And I feel like there's this sense of removing the mask to be a part of something that feels like interconnected to you in some form or fashion. Let's do clarifiers because that's just like broad, right? Okay. Gems, I hope y'all are doing well and having a wonderful week. We have the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, the Emperor, the Knight of Pentacles, and the World. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this blockage is, what this mask is for you. Whatever it is, I feel like in your last read, it was just that idea of like being guarded, right? Or somebody else's read, everybody gets the mask, I feel like. But just this end of like holding up your guard. Like if you're constantly on guard from like allowing yourself to really just like be your whole big beautiful self, because you're always just trying to like, I don't know, I kind of get the sense that like I have some people here with me who were, I don't know, I think of one person in particular, they're Gemini, and they had a theory that, well, because Cain killed Abel, and and this person had a theory that, like Cain was actually the righteous brother because he was the one who, like rid himself like of the ignorance of his brother, like his brother, like it was his brother's fault that he got murdered. And you're just like, wow, okay, but they had a whole argument for it, and it just kind of felt like this guarded means of character exposure. And mind you, this person is also a psychic and definitely somebody who has purpose, and and I'm not sure that they still hold on to that belief, but it was just a very telling belief. And I use that because it feels like an extreme statement to say something like that, and that's kind of an extreme example, so I feel like it fits into the energy. But I feel like that extreme stance that you were taking as a means to protect yourself somehow is really like coming to an end, because you see that when you have an excessive guard, you block yourself from being a part of the flow, if you will. Throw some woo your way, but you are watching tarot, so whatever. The River, the Emperor, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. I just kind of feel like there's this decision to really, step up as yourself. And I kind of get the feeling that like you've existed in this mask for a long time, and you can be dealing with somebody in this energy. You can be on either side of the story, so take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest. But again, it's just this idea that like you have to take off this mask, otherwise you're going to miss this opportunity. And whatever this opportunity is, I feel like you've made this decision like very solidly, like you were like committed to this decision. But the decision itself comes, I don't think you're the only one who's made this decision. I feel like whoever else it is that you're dealing with, they haven't made the decision yet. That's what this is about. Or vice versa, somebody's coming to you, and whatever it is that they're coming to you with that they've decided about, you haven't made a decision on it yet. But there's a message, just kind of like this call to action, this new opportunity. Gems. The Page of Swords, the Ten of Wands, the Nine of Wands. Well, I mean, this is just the idea of holding on to, you know, like focusing on changing, focusing on your growth, focusing on, you know, like holding on to your opportunity to rise, you know, like up into, I just feel like the connected version of yourself. I don't know why. I just feel like whoever it is that I've been, that is here with me right now, you know, like the message that's needing to come through, is just this idea of like, there's just been so much disconnection. You've been so disconnected. And I feel like there's a reason you've been disconnected. There's a reason you've had your guard up. There's a reason, but like, if you continue to hold your guard up, if you continue to stay disconnected, you will not move forward in the way that I feel like in your mind you thought you were. I don't know why, I just always like that, I keep coming back to this, but you know, it's been so many years, but just this idea of, you know, like being in a relationship with somebody and they're never really present with you, you know, like they're never, you know, like you talk to them and they, you know, and you know that they didn't hear anything you just said, because sometimes you'll just say random things to see if they're paying attention. You know what I mean? Like when you just like, you're so completely non-existent to another human being. And so maybe there's been this wall that has just kind of left the person that you're dealing with feeling like they don't even exist. Like, okay, cool. You know, like, I'll go spend time with people who want to spend time with me. I'll go whatever. And you being like, well, what do you mean? And it's kind of like, I feel like that person's looking at you and saying like, well, what do you mean? Like, did you mean for me to just sit here and be miserable and take shit? You know, like, was that your, you know, your idea of how loving you are, of how kind you are, of how important you are in my life? What? You know what I mean? I need you. What? You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like there's this idea. And again, you can be on either side of the story. You know, but like when you've been disconnected from somebody for so long, there's just kind of that idea of, I don't know, I think the Billie Eilish song, like all you did was teach me that I was better off on my own. You know what I mean? All you did was teach me that I was happier by myself. The Emperor, again, I feel like there is an idea of that really making sense to some of my gems, because I just kind of get the feeling that you're like, no. That was in, I want to say it was in your read or somebody else's read, where it was like, when I took the mask, it was the loophole. What one am I thinking of? I don't even know. But it was just this idea of like somebody not wanting to deal with you anymore, or you not wanting to deal with somebody anymore, and there being this idea of like, well, that you weren't dealing with me, you were dealing with the mask of me. And the mask of me is done, and now I'm connected. It feels kind of rushed and a little aggressive, but almost in like this, because I decided. Okay. Gems. I don't know what you've decided. I don't know what's ending. I don't know what that mask is. You know, like I just shared that example because it's what came to me, but you know, what would another example of that be? So here's a concept that like I feel like applies to this, I guess. I don't know, like I'm just, whatever's coming is coming, you know, but it's a sales concept. And it's a sales concept in terms of like negotiating and negotiating people like so low that you undervalue them, thinking that you're going to get them to do what you want them to do. Like you're going to win this deal. You're such a good negotiator. But if you underbid somebody, then you've insulted them, and they don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Well, a literal professional example of that, I don't know. Like if you have an artist and they sell their artwork and they sell their art for you know, X amount of money, and then you go in and you're like, well, I'll pay you like $20 for it. And it's like, what? You know what I mean? Like, ew, like, no, go away. Like, get out of my gallery. Get away from, you don't deserve my art. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of energy. And then I almost feel like this, but now you've gone through this process where you feel like you understand, sorry, my nose is just really bad all of a sudden, where you feel like you understand the value and you don't want to miss out on this opportunity. And so now you have to go and you have to place a higher bid on this art, because otherwise nobody's going to take you seriously. I feel like you're trying to be you, or another person is trying to be serious about something. You know, and you have the one, and I feel like this is, you know, for a lot of my gems in context of a relationship. You know, it can be a professional thing, it could be with your friends or whatever, but I just kind of feel like there's an idea here of really, you know, like feeling like you're going to miss out on something because, like, I don't know, somehow you have undersold, underbid, under whatever somebody who I think they felt insulted by it. You know, whether you were in a serious committed relationship or casually dating, however that plays out for you, but it just kind of feels like maybe you were trying to, like, if it was a casual situation and it's like you're trying to play it cool and you want to seem like you don't really care. And I don't know, I was scrolling the other day and I saw this reel about like texts that men send and like what they really mean when they say it. And of course I had to watch it because it was just like you know, like you can't help but wonder. But I just kind of feel like there's been this idea of like, if it's a relationship and you don't ever make an effort to like text your partner or take interest in any of their interests or do anything with them, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, but they're there and you expect them to be there when you show up and you expect them to do whatever it is that you want them to do, but you're not like, you're not engaged in that in any way. That person is going to leave you. You know what I mean? If they have any self-respect, they're going to walk the fuck out of that door, you know, or if you have any self-respect and somebody's treating you that way, you're going to walk out of the door because you don't deserve to be treated that way. And somebody else doesn't deserve to be treated that way. Right. And I just kind of get that feeling of like, oh, wow, yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Now I need to make a decision to show up. But I feel like that like aggressiveness that I'm kind of feeling with this like decision, that Emperor energy, is kind of like a sense of overcompensating almost. You know, like I feel like, and I don't mean overcompensating and like you're being too nice or you're being too whatever. I almost feel like this territorial sense of overcompensation. Do with that what you will, because it just kind of feels like there was like something was out of balance and now there's almost like this attempt to bring it back into balance. But I kind of get the feeling that you still have a little bit of that energy on you, that was that aggressive energy that I was sharing in the beginning of like, well, that brother deserved to be murdered because he didn't know that he was going to be murdered. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like there's just something really aggressive about this energy that I'm not digging. And I don't know if you're in that energy or if somebody else is in that energy. And if you are in that energy, I would just say, you know, like maybe try and acknowledge that is something that you're experiencing, something that you're feeling, and figure out why you're feeling that way, where it's coming from, so that it doesn't bite you in the ass. I feel like I just keep giving my Geminis warnings. But I don't know, you know, I mean, I just kind of feel like if you're trying, you know what I mean? I don't know, what is the Jessie Reyez song, Apple Juice? You know, like if you're trying, if you're really putting forth an effort, if you're sincere in your changes, if you're sincere in the things that you're doing, you don't have to force that down anyone's throat, and you don't have to fight off other people in like some, I don't know, like weird competitive, because I kind of get the feeling that there's an energy here that is like that like it, there's still that sense of control of like taking everything out, taking everything else down, you know, being better. And it's like, it's not a competition, because because like, we all need community. We all need people in our lives. We all need, like, people that we can turn to and rely on. And you want to have a big, healthy community of people that you can do that with. And if you are of a mentality that you want to isolate someone, then that's not healthy, whether you're doing it from a motivation of sincerely making an effort, or doing it from a motivation of ownership and control. Either way, that energy's still there. And I feel like you just kind of, like, you're going to have to work on dealing with that energy, in order to really create something healthy. And I don't know where you're at with that energy. I don't know if that's something that you were dealing with in the past, or something that you're going to be dealing with moving forward. It doesn't feel like it's a really an easy energy to deal with. It honestly, it feels like an internal struggle. But I think it's an internal struggle that at this moment in time, you feel like you're willing to, like, ride the bull. So sending you lots of love and lots of luck. You're strong. You can change. We can all change. We're all capable of change. None of that is to say that you can't do it. It's just to say that, like, that's going to be a struggle that you face. So be conscious of your struggles, so that you don't subconsciously sabotage yourself, right? Okay, gems. If this does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in booking a personal read with me, please do click the link in the description box below. These are general reads, and they will not resonate with everyone, and they will not resonate in every single way. So please do take what resonates, how it resonates, and leave the rest. And yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me and sharing your energy with me, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.